When it comes to homeschooling, I think we'd all agree that we want what's best for our children, right? This is one of the reasons why we've done it. We're thinking, okay, I want to do schooling at home, but I don't want it to be like normal schooling, just done at home. I want my children to have freedom, like all of these different things. And in stepping into that homeschooling journey, maybe you have researched many different curriculum. I know I have. I have looked into quite a number of different curriculum. And, there are ones that I love and there's ones that I will definitely never be using. You know what? We find all of those different things. But what if we get to this point where we're like, do I really want to be using curriculum? Like, is it okay? Can I stop using curriculum? Well, the answer to that is yes. Of course you can. Yes, you can stop using curriculum because you know what? We have this freedom and there are so many great things out there that we can be using to help us in our homeschooling journey. So let's look at that. Let's look at when we can stop using curriculum. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life. And thank you so much for joining me today as we look at when to stop using curriculum. That sounds like a really big thing, doesn't it? We're like, do I really? Could I? Can I? You know what? We all get plagued with doubts. I know I do. I tend to overthink everything and then, go against like all the things that the training that I've had and the years of experience going, am I doing the right thing? Like it can just be really hard and sometimes just sort of daunting and overwhelming. And we're like, yeah, but if you've been around me for a little while or you've been watching some of these videos, you might hear it time and time again when I say, do what works for you. And that also includes in our homeschooling, absolutely do what works for you. And hey, if you have been watching these videos, thank you. And if you are new, hi and welcome. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Curriculum. There are some great ones out there, aren't there? There are some fun ones. There are ones that make us maybe scratch our head a little bit. I have taught the Australian, the British, and American, well, at least Georgian curriculum, all three. Very different. And then when I got into homeschooling, I was like, this is my plan. And about 2 months in, I'm like, really not loving using curriculum. Maybe I could stop. And so I stopped using curriculum that first year and then didn't use it really the second year, except for math. And as we've continued, really the only curriculum that we are using is math because that's what the girls enjoy. Everything else, we're not. The importance of curriculum. So, is curriculum important? Yes, when it serves you well, okay? It does serve us well at times, like schools. Absolutely, schools need curriculum, right? Without it, there'd be chaos. Everyone's just doing their own thing. And you know what? Okay, so curriculum will bring us those measurable targets, those standards. And it is good to know the skills and the standards that our children need according to grade. And guess what? We can find those even at homeschooling. We don't need a curriculum for that. But, schools have to have them. So curriculum is important. It is helping to bring those foundations out, all of those different things building upon. And it helps to bring peace, especially into a school setting. I could not imagine being in a school without a curriculum. But that doesn't mean that we have to bring that home, especially if we don't want to just be doing schooling at home, but we're really looking at schooling as a way of life and what we want to be doing. So let's have a look at this of when to stop, because you know what? We might hit that time and going, I understand that curriculum is important and I do see that. And there might be a time in your life where you come back to it, but it's also okay to, evaluate whether or not you want to continue with it. When to stop using curriculum. So there really are, I think there's a few good little sort of pointers here to when it's good to stop. Okay, my main one is when it frustrates you and your children. Okay, I know that there are people saying sometimes you just got to suck it up and just do it anyhow. You know what? If it's not bringing you joy and your children are refusing to come and getting any school done because they're not enjoying the curriculum, stop. just stop using it. Find something else. And maybe you've tried this curriculum and that one, and all your friends are using this one, but you tried it and it just hasn't worked for you. Try another one, but if it's still not working and it's frustrating and nobody's loving it, stop. It is totally okay to stop. Maybe your children just need something that's more to their learning style, or maybe your children have some learning disabilities. These come across, I love the learning styles, the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, but did you know that most traditional curriculum is written for our visual learner? So if you have an auditory or a kinesthetic learner, they're sort of missing out on some key components that are really going to help them learn well. And if your child has some learning disabilities and, maybe you already find, but we're moving back, below sort of grade level, but you're getting frustrated with these thoughts of being below grade level, but you're finding that you're taking curriculum and tweaking so much to make it work for your child, stop. Okay? You stop when you're having to do so much tweaking and it's, again, just sucking out that joy. That frustration is rising. You don't have to be using curriculum. And maybe you just don't have the money. And I know I've seen that, had some friends going, I really want to, but I just can't afford it. It's my heart. Don't let, the lack of money to buy all of this curriculum stop you from following your dream of homeschooling. Please don't. And get it, curriculum can be very expensive and it adds up, especially if you have multiple children. And then there's this interest and then there's that. So don't let, I only have this amount of money that I could spend stop you. There are many great resources out there that you don't need to have a full curriculum package. Maybe you want to be more flexible, have more creative learning experiences. I know for me, that was a big I don't want to be using that curriculum because I do want to be more flexible. I want to see my girls explore, and build in that. Or like me as well, I really love skills-based learning. So I would rather focus on skills and let the content come into that rather than here's the content and we'll build the skills in there. So when we're looking at that flexibility, creative learning experiences, skills-based, all of that, that's a good time to stop using curriculum. It's definitely okay to stop then and go, all right, and assess what would be working. Maybe your child is ahead in some sense, they're definitely operating a more above grade level, over here, but over here they're really struggling. Again, we're sort of hitting when we're having to tweak or we're pulling from different grade levels of curriculum. It can be overwhelming and frustrating. And, your child is either really accelerated and doing great here, but then frustrated here. Again, why do we want to homeschool? Because we want it to be a good experience for our children. So no child is truly just one grade level. They're really not. They're going to be, operating in ebb and flow and fluctuations. But, if we're moving towards, progressing ahead and leveling up, then it's going to be a lot better. And one way that we can level up is by stop using curriculum. And, you've been going on your journey. So like me, I was more looking at a traditional homeschooling and I found myself unschooling, eclectic schooling, unschooling, because I use a math curriculum. We stopped and found freedom. Or maybe you want to be world schooling. I know I do, and you're traveling. Who wants to be carrying around a big suitcase full of curriculum? I don't. I'd rather have clothes. I really would rather have clothes than curriculum. So again, here are just some great reasons for when to stop using curriculum. How to homeschool without curriculum. Now, you might be thinking, all of that makes sense. I feel like I'm at that point where I don't want to be using curriculum, but now how? How do I homeschool without curriculum? Well, let me just tell you, there are so many great resources out there. Utilize your library. Books, they're just beautiful. The library's full of just so many wonderful things to learn. Trade resources, with other families. You found this unit study you love doing, and then they've been doing this one. Oh, why don't we swap? Again, a great way. And this is very helpful for when you don't have a huge budget to be buying a lot of curriculum. Use the internet. Wonderful resources on the internet, okay? So many of them free or for very small cost. You can go to places like Teachers Pay Teachers or education.com, and you're paying just like a few dollars and getting some beautiful, rich resources and activities or worksheets or whatever it is that you're looking for. We can be doing that. And then there's classes and like activities, homeschool co-ops, all these other things that we can do like according to your children's interests and their abilities. It really is easy to homeschool without curriculum. You might just need to be like a little bit creative, or, you need to spend a bit of time finding the resources to go with the interest. But I tell you what, that time and that energy that you put into helping your children like find the resources they need for what you want to learn it is going to pay off. And, then we're going to cut totally that one frustration out of there, because we just want school here at home to be a happy place. Well, I hope that's helped you. I hope I haven't sort of thrown some of you into a panic, because hear me very clearly. If you want to use curriculum, go ahead and do it. You have to do what works for you. But if you've been struggling and you're really not sure, and you know what? And you don't want to be using curriculum anymore, hopefully this has helped you. And hey, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them below. I would love to help you on your journey with this. Well, thank you so much for watching today and for being part of this Learning Life community. If you like these videos and want to help get some more out there, then you can join us as a champion, and you can do that through patreon.com or through my website, learningthis.life.